bringing the students back, no matter how hard it is. What gets them to be so excited? In North America, we have so much to do. There's hockey, there's soccer now, there's football. There's so much to do. There's music, there's parties. And what brings students back to our martial arts school every week? What is it? Energetic classes, great classes. That's the only thing that brings the students back. So if you're teaching the classes that people love, they keep coming back. That is working in your business. Making sure that is happening, whether you're teaching it or an instructor is teaching it. A lot of instructors who get tired of teaching martial arts and they start focusing more on marketing and they start focusing more on opening more schools and they keep their eyes away from great classes is when it really hits them. Because no matter what they do, how much money they spend in the background, the students will not increase. First rule of increasing number of students: teach great classes. Teach classes that people love. That's very important. That is working in your business. Also creating programs that help students to learn more. I don't mean continuously come up with new programs. I'm actually against that. If you teach traditional karate, I do believe you can still have 500 students by just teaching traditional karate. If tomorrow all of a sudden cardio kickboxing or MMA lessons becomes popular, it doesn't mean you have to jump on it. It's great to go with the time and add some programs in your school, but it's not great when you completely change your whole school to be something else, something that maybe you do not have expertise in. That doesn't help. Also, it confuses the students. If I'm teaching stand-up fighting, then I'm teaching boxing, then I'm teaching grappling or jiu-jitsu, then I'm teaching weapons, then I'm teaching point sparring. How would the students learn all this in 2 or 3 years? That's impossible. You as a martial artist know that, right? That is impossible. I can only get good at one thing at a time. So don't confuse me as a student with so many things at once, because I'm not going to learn neither of them. Yes, maybe it's great for marketing. Yes, maybe it's great when you do an introductory lesson for a student and say, yes, we teach this and this and this, because it will help them to maybe join your school. But it might not really help. Pick few programs that really help the schools, few programs that are popular, make sure you get good at them, and then teach them. Working on your business. What are the things? Marketing strategy, retention strategy. You have to know why your students are quitting. You have to be able to analyze. You got to be able to know if your students are quitting is because you're not teaching great classes or you're not doing a great service. I had some students actually going to a front counter one day, and they wanted to pick up their bags. The lady was working in a dentistry. She was actually my dentist. When she was cleaning my teeth, she was telling me that, I went to the front counter and I wasn't able to get what I wanted. She was really unhappy, right? The service in front counter is everything, right? Why are students quitting? You got to know, you got to analyze, you got to have a strategy in place. How much to invest in your business to grow it, and how much for yourself? If you make $10,000 a month, are you going to take all of that and go on vacation and spend it every month, or are you going to invest at least $3,000 or $4,000 of it back to the school? Those are the things that it helps you to work on your business. Spending versus making. Every single month, you should run an Excel sheet in your bank statements that tells you how much went in and how much went out, and make sure the money that's going in is always 20% more than the money that is going out. These are the things that somebody must do in your business, whether it's yourself or a staff member, are very important. Knowing your competitors, as we talked previously. What people think about your brand and your services. Go to the blogs, go to the forums, ask students, ask the parents. Continuously run a survey every quarter to find out what people are thinking about you. So the difference, if you can see here, working in your business and working on your business is different. And are you doing both? Can you tell me if you're doing both or you're doing the first one? How many people are doing just working in their business? Say yes. Yes, yes, yes. Both. 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 Great, great. It's amazing. I like to hear both. I like to hear that you're working in your business and you're working on your business. If you're not working on your business, it could be because you're overloaded. Or maybe you don't know how. But if you're growing a business, you better start learning how. It's very important. When I talk to people and I say, are you working in your business or working on your business? A lot of people say, well, I don't have enough time. And I say, okay, why don't you hire someone? If you have 100 students, the rules is you must have at least 2 staff members. For every 100 students that you gain in your school, you would need a full-time staff. So if you have 200, the exception is only the first 100, because in the first 100 you must have 2 at least. Now if you have 200 students, you must have 3 staff members, at least full staff members. The reason is not because you really require to have 3 people in there, but because you want to grow a business. That's why you need to have 3 members, because your goal is from 200 to become 250 and 300, and without having extra help it's almost impossible. So when I talk to people and say, why don't you hire a new staff member, I hear a lot that people say, I can't afford it. How do I hire a full staff member? Well, that's why I have this point here, how to inspire your students and your staff to help. I remember when I had about 60 or 70 students, I always had some students who would come and help me out part-time. People love to help a martial arts instructor. We have one of the best businesses in the world. Actually, the only business in the world that the students are willing to help voluntarily, and they're happy to do it. And they're involved. If you were in a restaurant business or retail business, do you think you can ever get a volunteer? No way. In a martial arts schools, we have the ability to inspire people, to get volunteers, to get people to help us out. Why? Because in return, they also learn a lot. But how do you do that? You must have a certain quality to be able to inspire your students. First, the most important, you must learn how to recognize them. And recognize that people who you get to help you, they will never be able to do what you do. Because I talk to school owners and say, you know what, I hired this person, he's been here 6 months, and he just can't do what I want him to do. Of course he can't. So how do you measure that? The way you measure that statistically is this. If you hire someone, or if you get someone to help you, and if they can do 50% of what you do, that means you are doing an amazing job. And they are an amazing volunteer or a staff member. If they can only do 50% of what you do. If you can find someone who can do more than 50% what you do, I don't know. I guess you're very lucky, because that's almost impossible. Now treat your staff in a martial arts school or your volunteers exactly like your students. How do you treat your students? You do an introductory lesson for them. You do progress check with them. You call them when they don't show up. You keep helping them to grow. You must treat your staff exactly the same way. Teach them, expect from them, recognize them, and give them public recognition. It's very important. Treat them really well. Okay, this is how you develop a strong team in your school that would help you to grow to the next level. Now, whether you have 300 students, you want to move to 500, that it's a must. When you encounter a challenge with the business, don't try to solve the problem on your own. And then bring your staff into a meeting and say, guys, this is what we're doing. No. Make sure all challenges of your business are shared with your staff members. Get them involved. Let them help you to develop the solution for the problem.